If you were a builder, you couldn't afford to do a house like this. You just can't, it's not cost effective. The only way you can do it is by putting thousands and thousands of free hours in, and that's basically what I did here. Well, the details that make this special, it's about making the trim, like the baseboard, so that nobody else has that baseboard. You can't buy it off a store shelf. It's about making the trim that goes around the windows that matches the baseboard. It's about glazing the windows. Every single piece of wood is hand glazed like it's an antique. You want it to be a classic. And the way I look at this house, when you do it, you take all that time to pick every little finish and every hand-blown piece of glass for your lights, whatever it happens to be. You can come to a house like that 100 years from now and it'll get more and more charm. It'll get better with age, like a bottle of wine, a really good bottle of wine. If I was to describe Marin County, it's a very affluent county, very close to San Francisco. It's the richest county in the United States. I grew up in a very traditional blue-collar family, 5 kids, probably 1,200 square foot home, 1 bathroom, continually fighting for availability of the bathroom, and growing up myself in a blue-collar neighborhood and mixing with friends at school that were from the affluent neighborhoods. And you would go over to their house and you would look at these huge houses and just kind of walk away in awe as a little kid. It left such an impression on me that I think that's where a lot of the drive came from to push me to want to have a beautiful home at some point in my life. And being in the construction field since I was 16, when I was ready to buy a house or a condo or whatever, I felt that I would love to build my own house because I'd get a lot more value for my money. I thought it would be about a year or two to start on the infrastructure and to slowly, as I had money, to work on it, every weekend and every night when you get off of work. The part I didn't expect was for the town to have an alternative motive to keep me from building, because I was naive to the fact that towns did that. But there was many a times and many nights that I was at city council meetings until 12 midnight and had to get up at 5 for work the next morning and thought, what am I doing here? What am I doing? This is, year after year. And they would give us lists, and then we would finish that list, and they'd come up with a new list. And we'd finish that list. And in these lists, every one of them is a new engineer, it's a new this. And they continued to come up with lists. And so they would never give me that straight answer on that, but it's pretty obvious. They were trying to keep me from building. Well, it pretty much put a hold on the family life until we figured out we could get through this process. We didn't know it was going to be 15 years later, and my daughter, that was 2, was going to be a senior in college. So what means more to me about this house than anything, I can really say this now, is not the actual house itself. I'm proud of the finished product because I accomplished it and everything, but I think it's this whole road that it took and all these guys that were so dedicated to help me with this project. That's what this house is really about. About friends that I've met along the way that I know I'll be friends with the rest of my life that came into this project. There's times when I sit up on the bench overlooking the house and saying, wow, it's all worth it.